Good morning, Course 1 Math. Mr. Belke back with another lesson. Today we have a very exciting lesson. It is a lesson dealing with transversals. So, let's get to it. Transversal is simply any line that intersects two or more other lines. So in this case, this is a transversal. Now today we're going to be dealing exclusively with transversals that intersect parallel lines. Okay, so here's a set of parallel lines, and I'm going to draw my transversal that is intersecting those two. All right, so now if I have a transversal that intersects two sets of parallel sides, I have just created 8 unique angles. Angle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. Now, when we're looking at these, we call the angles that are in between the two lines. So the ones that are in between here and here, those are called interior angles. And those that are outside of these two lines are called exterior angles. So interior would be 3, 4, 5, and 6. Exterior would be 1 and 2, and 7 and 8. All right, so there are a couple of things that we learn about these different angles. Now remember, two angles that put together that form a straight line are called supplementary. So 1 and 2 are supplementary angles, but 1 and 4 are also supplementary angles. And 2 and 3 are supplementary, 2 and 1, 5 and 6, 6 and 7, 8 and 5, 5 and 6, 8 and 7. Those are all supplementary angles because they add up to 180 degrees. Now, something else that's very unique is we have some angles that are congruent. For instance, 1 and 3. They're called vertical angles because they're on top of each other. So vertical angles are congruent. 1 is the same as 3. So if I know 1 is 150 degrees, 3 is also 150 degrees. Okay? And same with 2 and 4. Those are exactly the same. 6 and 8 are the same. 5 and 7 are the same. Now another term to keep in mind are corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are angles that are in the same position. So if I look here, 1 is in the same position as 5. If I were to isolate this, it's in the upper left. This one's in the upper left as well. 6 corresponds with 2, 3 corresponds with 7, and 4 corresponds with 8. Now, what's important about corresponding angles is corresponding angles are congruent. That means if number 1 is 150, 5 is 150 degrees. If angle 2 is 30 degrees, angle 4 is 30 degrees. Angle 6 would be 30 degrees, and 8 would be 30 degrees. Okay? Alternate interior angles are congruent, and alternate exterior angles are congruent. Now, alternate would be on the opposite side. So 4 and 6 are alternates. They're on opposite sides of the transversal. 3 and 5 are on opposite sides of the transversal. So if you hear alternate interior, remember, in between these two lines are interior. On the opposite sides of the transversal, on the interior, these two are alternate interior. These two are alternate interior. These, 1 and 7, are alternate exterior, and 2 and 8 are alternate exterior. All right, so what does this all mean? Let's take a look at the example. All right, so I'm going to draw a set of parallel lines, and we're going to add in a transversal. And this transversal we're going to name W. This is line X, this is line Y, and I have angle A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. All right, number 1, or letter A, says name the pairs of corresponding angles. Okay, so what angles are in the same place? Well, A is in the same place as E, so A and E, D and H, B and F, and C and G. Those are all the corresponding angle pairs. Letter B, name the pairs of alternate interior angles. So alternate interior, so I'm looking in between these two. Alternate interior would be D and F and C and E. Those are the pairs of alternate interior angles. C, name the pairs of alternate exterior angles. Okay, so alternate exterior would be A paired with G and B paired with H. A and G are alternate exterior, B and H are alternate exterior. Now, if we know that the measure of angle A is 115 degrees, we could figure out the measure of every single other angle. So, if A is 115 degrees, okay, I know that A is 115, and because A and C are vertical, C is also 115. And since C is an alternate interior with E, E is also 115, and vertical angles, G is also 115. I could also look at it this way. A and G are alternate exterior, and so they're both 115. Okay? Now, if I know those are 115, that means that B would be 65 degrees, right? Because the two angles are supplementary. They form a straight line. So, if B is 65, then H is 65 because they're alternate exterior angles. And I know if B is 65, then D is 65 because D and B are vertical angles, and vertical angles are congruent. If D is 65, then F is 65 because they're alternate interior angles. And if F is 65, H is 65 because they are vertical angles. All right, pause the video here, and we'll take a look at the practice set. Do A, B, C, and D. All right, A, B, C, and D. Let's do this one more time. Draw our parallel lines, and then we got transversal C coming through here. So we have F and G, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. So letter A says, which line in the figure at right is a transversal? So remember, a transversal has to cross two lines. So in this case, this is the transversal, this is the transversal, this is the transversal. So line C is the transversal. Okay, point B. Which angle is an alternate interior angle to number 3? Okay, alternate interior with number 3 would be number 5. Alternate interior. 3 and 5 are alternate interior angles. Which angle corresponds with angle 8? So 8 is in the same position as 4. 8 and 4 are in the exact same position. Out of these 4, it's the upper left. Out of these 4, upper left. Okay, and D, which angle is an alternate exterior with 7? Alternate exterior, so 7 would be alternate other side, exterior 1. Okay, alternate exterior 1. 7 and 1, so 1 would be the alternate exterior. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to call, email, text, or check me out online at between 9 and 10 o'clock tomorrow. Have a fantastic day.